Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Finally, we are back building another PC on this channel. This PC right here we're gonna build today is going to be my personal gaming rig. If you guys remember, I used to run two PCs, but I'm kind of trying to downsize it back into just one main, like, do-it-all gaming rig for one of my rigs, and then for my other rig, I'm just gonna use my laptop because the one I've been using is extremely powerful. So I only really need one PC tower now. So we're gonna get into the parts, we're gonna show you guys all that kind of stuff, but first, before we do anything, I need to go ahead and thank today's sponsor, Montek, because they sent us over this awesome case right here that's brand new that just came out, this 360 millimeter AIO, and also this 850 watt gold rated power supply. So thank you to Montek for sending those over. No money exchanged hands for it, just to be clear to you guys. They just sent it over to me to test and to show off to you guys. But let's go ahead and hop right into the build real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys what parts we're using. Okay everybody, let's get started with the parts I'm gonna be using in this brand new gaming build of mine. So the centerpiece of the build, as I'm sure a lot of you guys guessed, is gonna be the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D from AMD. And guys, I mean, with the 8 cores and 16 threads of pure gaming awesomeness from this thing, you guys already know it basically makes any gaming machine fly and play games at the max settings you could possibly get, just depending on what graphics card you're gonna be using. This is purely gonna be a gaming machine. You can do editing with it, but I'm most likely gonna just be gaming and recording with this system. All right, moving on from that, let's talk about the motherboard that chip is gonna be going into. So I picked up the Asus TUF Gaming B850 Plus Wi-Fi AM5 motherboard. So this motherboard basically has everything I need. I did not go the X870 because I just didn't feel like I needed some of the features that you get with those, and they're more expensive anyway. This one came in at the right price and it has all the features that I need, like Wi-Fi integrated, which is very important to me, and PCIe 5.0 and all that good stuff. So it'll do great for this build we're gonna do right here. All right, now moving on to RAM. We decided to go with some G.Skill Trident Z Neo RGB. This is 64 gigabytes of, I think it's actually, DDR5 6000 speed with cast latency 30 memory. So you can actually get this 64 gigabyte kit right here for like under $200 on Amazon all day. So that's why I picked it up, because it was very cost efficient and it's pretty much exactly what we need for a build like this. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the second most important part of this build behind the processor, and that is the graphics card. So I'm gonna be cannibalizing this card from my previous gaming build. This is a PNY 4070 Ti from NVIDIA. And this is a beast of a card. It still plays 1440p games, which is what the resolution I typically play at. It plays them at higher max settings at high refresh rate types of FPS. So I know the 50 series is out, but graphics card prices are insane. And I just didn't feel like it was a good cost-efficient move to buy another graphics card at this time. So the 4070 Ti will be staying. Now let's move on to storage, and then I'll tell you about the only other thing that I'm cannibalizing from my previous build, and that is this SSD right here. So this is a 2 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade drive that I'm gonna be just taking from that as our boot drive. We're gonna be using that. And then I also picked up a Samsung 990 EVO Plus 4 terabyte drive to serve as our mass storage drive for all of our games and programs that we need for this gaming system. So I felt like on my last gaming system, I actually did start to run out of space on my mass storage gaming drive with games like Escape from Tarkov and actually modded Escape from Tarkov and modded Skyrim, now that I play modded Oblivion. All those games with all the mods and everything that it requires, they take up a ton of space on your hard drive. So I felt like this was actually needed this time around. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about a few of the items, or the 3 items that Montek sent over to me to help complete my build. So again, thank you to those guys. They honestly caught me at just the right time, because I was about to do a computer build and they reached out and said they wanted to send over some of their brand new kit for me to use. So first thing we'll talk about is the power supply. So we are going with their Sentry 2 850 watt gold rated power supply that's fully modular. It supports the new GPUs, their new GPU power plugs. So it has its own cable that is made for that. So that'll be an upgrade for me, because my previous power supply did not have that, and I had to use that stupid adapter that everybody says breaks and catches on fire, so I don't have to do that anymore. And this thing has a super great warranty. Can I actually check how long is it? I believe it might even be a 10-year warranty that's on it. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think it does have a 10-year warranty. And these things are supposed to be amazing, so I'm very excited to use it in all of its fully modular goodness. Now, the second thing that we got is this guy right here. I did not expect him to do this, but they just kind of threw this over to me as another extra, centerpiece for the build, and this is their Hyperflow ARGB 360mm radiator. So I did a little research on this guy and it looks pretty awesome. I was gonna use my old MSI 360mm radiator that I really liked using. That thing was pretty awesome, but since they sent me this and they just came out with it, I decided to give it a shot. It's got a lot of RGB on it, but just looking at the specs, the fans that are in it match the fans that are in the case, so it's gonna look really, really clean, and I think it should do really well from us, and we'll definitely test thermals to make sure that that is true. Now, moving on to the third thing they sent me, and that is this case. This is the HS02 Pro case from Montek. They just came out with this whole line. They have the HS01s and they have the HS02s. Now, this case in particular, the thing that stands out about this one is the fact that it has this cool party trick that you can actually have it in this configuration where the power reset button and all the front I/O is on the bottom currently. You can actually flip the entire case, the entire orientation, to where the front I/O is actually at the top, and then you can also switch the bottom fans, which are down here right now on the bottom, you can switch them to be on the top and actually suck in air from this way if you wanted to do that. Now, that's totally up to you, what you want to do with the case. I am gonna leave it, for this build, I believe, in the stock configuration, just because we already have this 360mm radiator and it'll fit perfectly on the top of the case. And I think that way, it may not be the most optimal setup for airflow, but we're gonna test it and see how it is, because right now, it's supposed to have this kind of chimney, they say, chimney airflow construction, so it'll suck in air from the bottom and pull it out the back right here, and then with the radiator it'll also pull it out up the top. So hopefully that'll do all right for our CPU cooler. And then also another cool feature of this is it comes vertical GPU mounting ready. So I actually love that. The very back of this, you just basically have to flip the PCIe brackets over, and then you can vertically mount your GPU just like this, and that's what I wanted to do again in this new build. And for that, I actually bought a PCIe riser cable from Asia Horse. These are pretty cheap, you can get them on Amazon, and that's the only thing you need to make that actually work. The case does not come with a riser already, so you're gonna have to buy that separately. And then I also, a couple accessories I bought to complete the build. I bought some all black cables because I wanted to make everything blacked out in this build besides the RGB that are on the fans. And then last thing, I bought an AM5 secure frame bracket right here from Thermalright, because it's suggested by a lot of people to use one of these to make sure that your thermal paste goes on there nice and clean and flat when you press your cooler on top of it. Guys, that's got all the parts right there out of the way. Now, let me roll some sweet B-roll of me putting this thing together. Bam. And another one is done. So the new PC is finally built and complete, and it looks very nice in my new setup back there. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a setup behind me now. How'd that happen? Yeah, I've been kind of working on both simultaneously, so that way I can get videos for both of those put out. So now let's move right along to the benchmark so you guys can see the performance that I'm hitting in this PC build back here, as well as temperatures and stuff like that of the new Montek case that they sent me. Is it working well, or is it leaving something to be desired? So let's check it out real quick.
All right, everybody, here we are in Cyberpunk 2077, and we are playing at 2560 by 1440, of course, full screen. And graphics right now, we got everything on high, as well as we got DLSS on the transformer model, and we got it on quality. So we're going to run the benchmark and see what we get there. All right, guys, now looking at the benchmark, moving through it, it looks like we are consistently getting 90, 100 FPS, 120 FPS, 130 FPS. Wow, I think the only dip I saw was it went down to like 90 at one point, but it's consistently staying above 100 now. So if you look at the end of the benchmark here, guys, it looks like our average FPS was 107. And synthetic benchmarks only show so much, guys. So here we are inside of the game right here, just in one of the areas where there's a lot of people around. Just to show you right here. So with those same settings, we are still gaining over 100 FPS right here. And everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm really liking it. And we seem to be running very smoothly. No super crazy hitches or anything like that. It seems to really run this game very nicely. So once again, I'm very happy with that. Let me go ahead and start some combat here. Let's see what happens. Yep, still staying over 100. Nope. See, it dips down, like probably dipping into the 90s at the most or whatever. But yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oblivion Remastered. Now, most of you probably know this game is a remaster of a classic older Elder Scrolls game, and it is just an absolutely beautiful remaster of a game. Probably one of my favorite ones to ever come out to this day, that they've redone and just made even better. I'm currently doing a gaming series on it on my gaming channel, but I just wanted to show you this game because it's still very tough to run and very taxing even on high-end computers like mine. So we're running high settings right here with DLSS on balanced. I found balanced is actually a good, it's a good balance really. And things still look beautiful as you can see in the game. I'm not running frame gen because unfortunately frame gen turns this game into a stuttery mess on this system. So we're not running that, but you can see averaging right now 79 FPS. We're in the 70s consistently. Oh, look at this. A Nern root. I will take that. Thank you. All right, guys. Here looks like here's somebody to fight right here. A conjurer. Here we go. So see, as in combat right here, we're still hitting the 70s. Nothing crazy. Still pretty similar to what we were seeing before. Yeah. And now we got some easy potions right there. Get our stuff back, and we're back to it. So very, very nice. All right, everybody, here we are in Escape from Tarkov, and we are in the Streets map. And I chose this map because, well, Streets is one of the maps that absolutely brings computers to their knees. So for graphics, usual stuff, full screen, 1440p. I copied these graphics settings from Pestily, actually. If you guys watch Escape from Tarkov videos on YouTube or Twitch, you probably know who that guy is. He's like, the dad of Tarkov. He does a ton of Tarkov content. So, oh, getting shot at by a sniper scav. I figured I would just take a, what do you call it? I figured I would just kind of run down the middle of the street because we're in a practice session, but I think we got a sniper scav shooting us. Yeah, here we go. Got him. So there you go. You guys can kind of see. There's another one actually. Yeah. Oop. Yikes. 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 All right, friends, here we are in Path of Exile 2. Actually, a game like this, a top-down game that's pretty difficult to run. Let me go ahead and show you what we're running. We're running 2560 by 1440 as usual. The DLSS on with DLAA this time because we actually can do it in this game. Pretty much everything is maxed out at the moment. So let me go kill some stuff, get into some combat, and you guys can kind of get an idea what it'll look like when there's a bunch of stuff happening on the screen. It looks like, you know, pretty much doing pretty well right here, staying above 100 FPS, looking like we're hovering around 120 sort of area. Yeah, it doesn't run too bad at all. Looks like it's very, very solid. Pretty impressed with this. All right, and here we are in the Clearfell encampment. I remember this was the area that brought my laptop to its knees when I first started playing this game when it came out. But it looks like we're still getting a very respectable, about 90 average FPS right here. Looking really good. And temperatures are still looking good as well, especially on my CPU. It's looking really, really good. With the fans blowing on full blast, so everything's looking really great. All right, guys, here we are in Stalker 2, and now this one we're running everything. We're going to run it in all epic settings here with DLSS on quality. All right, guys, so here we are inside the actual game itself. I'm not even sure where I'm at. I'm in one of the bases throughout the game, but yeah, as you can see, epic settings with DLSS on quality. Man, yeah, we're still getting over 75, 80 FPS right here, averaging 80 FPS. So yeah, of course, we could tweak some settings, probably get a lot more out of this, but I just wanted to show you that we can still easily play this game. I might go out here real quick and just try to start some combat. I have not played this game in a long time. I played it quite a bit when it first came out, like a ton, actually. Here we go, here's some bad guys. I played it a ton when it first came out, and then I haven't played it a lot since, so... You can't really just run into combat like this. You'll get killed pretty fast, but... Oh god, yep, as I said, yeah, you'll die pretty fast if you do that. But as you can see, guys, we will this is all different here.
All right, so as you can see, gaming performance, very good. That's to be expected with this kind of hardware. I wasn't really surprised or shocked by any of those numbers. Being able to push performance in those games at 1440p to the highest settings and be able to get a solid gaming, gaming experience from every one of the games that I personally play. So by the way, guys, if you're wondering why I tested the games I tested, I honestly just showed you games that I personally play right now and the numbers that I'm getting in those games, because really that's what I care about, is the games that I play. But as far as temperatures, you guys already saw it in the benchmarks. Temperatures are looking really, really good. Nothing really went over any kind of high temperature that would have scared me at all. So obviously the cooling of this case is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And even though it's not, the fans are not in the most optimal fan, configuration for the case because of where I put the AIO and everything like that, it's still doing its job and it's working really, really well. So if you guys wanted to know about fan noise, let's take a listen to that really quick. So yeah, as you can see, there is a bit of fan noise in this case. It's not silent by any means, but I wasn't expecting that out of it because it's not a case that is marketed as silent. So yeah, when you have the fans, when I have them on like silent mode, like I showed you guys, it's very, very bearable. When I have headphones on, can't even hear it. When the fans are turned up to full blast, yeah, in the room, when you don't have headphones on, you're not, using speakers that are loud or anything like that, you can definitely hear some audible fan noise, but it's nothing crazy. It's nothing I've never heard before. But all things considered, you guys, I had a great experience with these Montek products. So as always, there'll be a link in the description below if you guys want to take a look at them, or maybe you guys want to pick one of them up for an upcoming build of your own. Yeah, the case was a pleasure to work in. Very easy. Cable management was, I literally didn't even have to really do anything. The way they have their cable routing design with that different routing of your power supply, how it's hanging upside down in the back. Very cool. I love that design, and it made for making cable management very easy. The panels come off very fast if you need to pop them off real quick and change something, which I had to do a couple times and finick with a couple of things whenever, you know, I was just changing stuff around. So I like to do that a lot with my PCs. So if you're somebody like that, you won't have any issue getting the case open. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed their products and I really enjoyed the build overall. It was very smooth and didn't really give me any issues except for installing Windows. I made a little short video on my Instagram, and I might have posted it on YouTube by now about how funny that was. Yeah, installing Windows 11 is just, you know, a whole nother thing, so. But anyway, I'm super happy I finally got another PC build done, and you know, I have it back there in my setup, and I'm enjoying it now. But other than that, you guys, that's gonna really do it for this video. I was hoping by this time I would give you guys some kind of upload schedule that I'm gonna be planning on doing, but right now, it's honestly up in the air. I have no idea when I'm gonna be able to get videos out because I'm trying to make videos for this channel, I'm trying to make videos for my gaming channel, and you know, I got a family, 3 kids, you know, all sorts of stuff going on. I've got a full-time job. So really right now, I'm just gonna leave it as I will be posting videos when I'm able to post videos. As usual, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys give it a like. If you guys want to see more tech content when I get this stuff out, which I will be getting this new video out very soon. That is the video on my setup build because it's behind me, and as you guys can see, it's taking shape. Hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on like always, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.